Welcome to Nation Face, an organization that wishes to prove that mythical legends are no longer mythical, that they are based on fact. In our last show, we had a man named David who wishes to prove to the world that there are alien civilizations that are living on our planet today. David is claiming that they can do all sorts of things, including telepathic communication, altering matter at will, and being able to control one's thoughts to such a degree that is not acceptable in today's society. The race of beings that he wishes to discuss is a mythical race called the Arcturians. In particular, a woman named Catherine, who he claims he is in telepathic communication. He is also stating that he formed the organization called Cicada 3301, which is feared by many and is considered more powerful than the military or the FBI. We have talked to David in depth, and he has showed us evidence that they do at least exist in our eyes and yours. In our last show, we asked David if he would like to have guests on our show as sort of a panel or jury to question him and discuss this openly. He stated that he would be delighted and honored to do so. We then asked our audience to come forward. We now have 3 guests that will be judge, jury, and final judgment on whether or not that he is indeed actually formed the organization Cicada 3301, which the world can neither deny or accept the possibility, and in which no one can solve their puzzles. In 2012, Cicada, with their scavenger hunts, caused world-wide confusion, and people tried desperately without success to try solve their puzzles. The 3 guests we have here today are known worldwide. However, since the topic is highly classified, our organization can't confirm who they really are. However, we can confirm that they are one of the 3 wealthiest and most powerful men in our country. They have the money and intelligence to get at the truth no matter what. Who are our guests? I will tell you now. Our first guest is Albert Einstein, who formed the equation E=mc². Then we have is the new governor of Illinois, J.B. Pritzker, a well-known billionaire. And finally we have Donald Trump, who is now President of the United States. Because of his money and stupidity, people fear him around the world, and he may be responsible for starting World War III. If that ever happens, if David can convince these 3 people that the Arcturians do actually exist, they will support him in trying to convince the world that this is also true. We will also, if need be, having audience participation as well. We will allow callers to participate. We are now ready to begin. David, would you like to start by explaining what you hope to accomplish with us in future shows?
Yes, I would, but before I begin, I would like to tell you a little bit about the Arcturians. They actually consider this their home, and they are very solid in what they see. They are the strongest race in the universe, with technology far in advance of anyone else's. We pride ourselves of being the strongest, most powerful nation in this world, and we are the strongest and most intelligent living beings in the universe. The Arcturians believe in peace and harmony for all. They are our protectors from invaders and the reason we are still alive today. Even though their home planet is 36 light years away, they are orbiting the Earth, protecting us. They care a great deal about all life forms and live on pure energy, harmony, and love. They wish to help anyone that wishes their help. I believe in them fully, and because I went to sacrifice my life so that others could live, they took me into their organization. I believe a woman named Catherine is helping me to survive. I also believe that we are having a very strong relationship, and when I evolve to their level, I will be their king. It's difficult to imagine, but that is the way I believe it to be so. I believe this due to the extensive research that I am about to show you. I see by your hand is raised, Donald, that you have a question for me.
Before you ask the question, Donald, I would like this to be an organized discussion without it getting out of hand. Therefore, before anyone speaks, I will state who has the floor. You will have no more than 5 minutes to make your statement.
Yes, thank you, Catherine. I do have a question or two about the Arcturians. You say they are willing to help anyone. I would like to take time to tell you my faults and to see if she is willing to help.
Yes, David, you may interrupt.
Thank you, Catherine. She is willing to help you, but only in your own private way. You will first need to start through meditation. The way I started was to write a list of accomplishments, or, in your case, faults. If they are faults, you will have to state how you wish to correct them. You don't have to do it with your first session. Then you just lie down in your bed and call for Catherine to come. If she feels you are sincere and not being dishonest, she will always come. They are advanced enough in telepathic communication, so she is aware of everyone all at the same time. You can't deceive her or her race. You don't have to, just the attempt is all she really needs. The Arcturians focus in on relaxation and releasing stress through vibration. Even though you don't have to listen to my hypnosis tape would help. It's totally free.
That seems to answer a lot of questions. Do you still wish to proceed with your questions or statements?
Yes, I would. As I was trying to say before I was rudely interrupted, I am a businessman. And I was brought up in a crooked society where what I saw, everyone cheated and stole from each other, and if you didn't carry a gun you wouldn't have survived very long. I survived by cheating people whenever possible, throwing my weight around whenever possible. I made most of my fortune because of my family, and I was fortunate to make it through real estate. I fought extremely hard and took advantage of every situation, doing whatever it takes, yes, even murder. However, what I really enjoyed doing was never spending any of my own money. Whenever I went to a place, I either bought it or I told them, I don't have to pay you. It should be an honor just to have me in your place of business. I found out that I could say anything to people and they would bow down in front of me just because I have money. When I ran for President of the United States, I won by being cruel and inhuman. And to my surprise, I won nothing I ever expected. I enjoy the power even more now. Not only can I bully human beings, but entire nations. You have no idea how that makes one feels.
Need to interrupt you for a moment. It appears that JB would like to join in.
I am not finished yet. That isn't fair. I have enough money to buy the station and fire you.
Throwing your weight around with us won't work here. You will have your turn. I am in control of this discussion. Even though my name is Catherine, I am not her, but still have control over this discussion.
I am not convinced, but I will at the moment allow you to believe that you have control.
That isn't helping your situation with the real Catherine. If you ever want to reason your behavior, go ahead, JB. How would you like to join in?
Thank you, Catherine. I just wanted to agree with Donald. I enjoy pushing people around. When you have billions of dollars, there is nothing else in life to do. You get bored. You stated, David, that you have a Tesla. A Tesla is a very strong and powerful car. I know I have one, and I can do 0 to 60 in 1.5 seconds. How did you handle the power of that car?
I must admit, Catherine, I didn't mean to break the rules any. Do I have permission to speak?
Yes, you do.
Yes, I must admit that having all that power does corrupt people, and I did use the power to impress people. I used the car so I could get over my shyness with people, and they gave me a huge amount of respect. It didn't seem to matter to them how much money they had. No one could resist talking to me about it. However, I wasn't using the power to control people, just to impress them and to help them grow. There is a difference that the Arcturians understand this. However, I do understand, and so do the Arcturians, that it's not what you do or how you do it, but how you feel inside about doing it. We understand about society and different aspects of society and are not too concerned about what is right or what is wrong. They are more interested in who you really are deep down inside. That is one reason why I was or made the decision to run against you in the last election. I am sure that with all the attention I got to my website that you were watching me very closely. And still perhaps are watching me. I did enjoy the amount of attention that people are finally giving me, and I do understand what power and corruption can do to people. I thank you for bringing that up, and we will be discussing my Tesla in debt, I hope, later.
Did I sense some criticism with his statement?
Not at all. In fact, I am glad he brought it up, and I want him to continue since I am sure he has more to say.
Yes, I do have a Tesla that can go from 0 to 60 in 1.5 seconds, and I use it every chance I get. It's the only excitement I get after being quoted that I bought the election and you got nothing. I say that is an amazing accomplishment. I am sure you can understand the power I could abuse it because I had my name and money behind it. How did you handle it?
Go ahead, David, you can answer the question.
Yes, I abused the power of the car. However, I have 30 or 40 years of experience driving. I know how to deal with people, and since I was very poor, I had to use my intelligence and cleverness and my awareness of people to talk my way out of every situation, which I was very good at. I remember one incident where I was trying to get home after being up for 36 hours. I went to visit a friend of a friend who was in jail. I couldn't get a hotel to spend the night, so I was very tired. The only way I could stay awake was to drive at top speed of over 100 miles per hour. I was coming up to an underpass and I saw 4 state troopers waiting for speeders. I slowed down, but not too fast to take notice. As I passed the police, the first one pulled out and I knew I was in trouble. I immediately pulled over. It was a hot summer day and I had my window partially down. I immediately got my driver's license and put my hands to the roof of my car. When the officer got close to me, I pointed to my seat belt and said at least I had my seat belt on. He nodded in acknowledgement and almost laughed out loud and said, I see that. From that moment on, I had a nice friendly conversation with him, telling him exactly what I was doing in a nice friendly manner, respecting him completely. In return, he respected me. He went back to his car and in 3 minutes or so, very quickly, he came back with a ticket in his hand. He said it was for 67 in a 55 when I was caught doing well over 100. He gave me a phone number to call, and if I paid it in 7 days it wouldn't be on my record. I said thank you very much. The next day I called the number. A nice woman answered and I told her what happened. I then asked nicely that $70 is a lot of money. Can I have some time to pay? Could I have possibly an extension? The woman said, you most certainly can. I can give you 3 more months to pay. Later I found out that there was no record of the ticket or court date, and that made me very happy. Instead of bullying people and trying to brief them, you would get a whole lot further if you are nice to them.
That was quite a story. Would you like to respond to that? How would you like to respond to that, JB?
I agree with David, that would be best, but I never really went to college and I am not a very good lawyer. I had to brief and cheat my way through the exam, and I donated $20 million so I could enroll to the university that I went to. I won the election because I supported an art museum that the public would be interested in. I could have cared less about the museum. I have so much money and power, people respect me because they think I earned what they don't realize now that I can make thousands of dollars a minute just with the money I do have. The money keeps growing no matter what I do. I am extremely bored to death. I have so much money that I can go into an extremely expensive restaurant, and instead of pushing my name around like Donald does. I can buy the restaurant and make even more money. I can do that for every day of the year. I am not very good with people nor have any special talents. Any ideas I may come up with, I just pay people below me to follow it up. You can tell by my condition that I love food and I am extremely lazy. I talk my way out of situations because of my money and power. I find that much easier to do. I think I can not only speak for myself but for people like Donald who have power and money that it's very easy to get into the habit of pushing people around, and it's perfectly normal to do so. We live in a society today that if you don't push forward as hard as you can doing whatever you can, you will not survive, and there will be some one right behind you ready to take over. Our society isn't pretty, but it's the only one we have at the moment.
That was a very clear statement, and I agree with what you have stated with your closing remarks. David, would you like to respond to that?
Thank you, Catherine and JB, and also Donald. You speak the truth. The reason why I ran against you in the election is because I lived outside of society all my life. I hated what society stood for and the power you needed to have to succeed in society. I had very special talents when I was young, and I could see the evil people had and that they didn't even understand that they were evil. The corrupt competition was impossible to deal with. I had learning disabilities and anger issues. I was very shy and had trouble wanting to make friends, and now I am all alone without money nor real friends to turn to. I believe that the two of you are the same way. However, the differences with you is that you have power and money which I don't have. I wish to get mixed up in politics to help change that and alter everyone who is corrupt and dishonest, to change society to a free, helpful society where everyone is working with each other instead of against each other. That is the main reason I am here, is to convince you three that it is time to change.
Thank you, David. We haven't heard anything from you. Albert, would you like to join in on our conversation?
Thank you, Catherine. Yes, I would. I am like David. I am a shy, quiet person. I learn by watching and listening. I am a scientist and spend many long, lonely hours doing research and experiments to help mankind. What I am seeing now from this conversation is that both Donald and JB are trying to take control, while David is partly defending and not attacking.
That is true. However, for the most part I am just trying to explain the differences while being in a neutral place. I am not purposely trying to take sides.
That was an interruption, being out of turn like that, but I will accept it this one time. I believe you have explained my first statement about what you hope to accomplish, and we have now heard about our guests. Is there anything else we need to clear up before we begin to move on? Yes, you have a question, Albert.
Yes, I do. We've heard from Donald and JB wondering and telling us all of their sins, wondering if they are worthy, and probably wondering what price they will have to pay for their sins. What I want to hear is what you are experiencing through your meditation and how it is helping you.
You may answer the question, David, but please be brief. We are running out of time for today.
Okay, I will do my best, but to answer that question I will like to show you a brief sample of my accomplishments through what the Arcturians are trying to teach me. Like I stated earlier, they practice the art of teaching true love. They are a very forgiving and patient race, but to do what is needed takes a very long time. They are trying to release my fears and emotions through vibration. In human terms, they are trying to teach me to deal with pain by experiencing extreme pain while under their control. With enough experience, they are altering my body so that I can become immortal. It is a 9-year course through the practice of Wudang. They are putting me through such stress and agony that it's almost unbearable even for me. I often explain it as getting violently sick 10 times a night. I put up with it because I am getting stronger and healthier than I have ever felt before. Pain is beginning to be a thing of the past, so is sleep. They are releasing my fears by testing me through dreams, and it's very demanding. In the beginning I would often wake up terrified and sick. Many times I had to go to the emergency room for help. I have progressed now well enough so nothing scares me, for I feel I have been terrified with this a dozen times over. What I would like to show you now is a video that will be extremely disturbing but very real. The video was not staged and the weights are really hitting my body.
Oh my god. Wow. Incredible. That is horrifying. Very painful. Oh my god. I can't watch this. Incredible. My lord. That is horrifying. Very Jesus Christ. I can't watch this. My dear God. Good heavens. Oh no. Jesus Christ. This is overwhelming to watch. Jesus, my dear God. How is he handling this? No. This is overwhelming to watch. He's lost his mind. Jeez Louise. No human should be able to handle this. This is insane. Oh my God. Anymore. He's lost his mind. How strong is this guy? No human should be able to handle this. This is crazy. Even human anymore. I can't believe what I'm seeing. How strong is this guy? My lord. He truly is next level. Good heavens. This is crazy. Jesus Christ. I can't believe what I'm seeing. Oh my dear God. He truly is next level. Oh no. This is overwhelming to watch. Jeez Louise. How is he handling this? This is insane. He's lost his mind. No human should be able to handle this. Is he even human anymore? How strong is this guy? This is nuts. This is crazy. I can't believe what I'm seeing. He truly is next level.
Now that you've seen the video, this is why I put up with it. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I put it together. You may now answer questions if you like.
I have to interrupt because it's now out of time, but that was indeed very impressive and shocking as well. When people state that pictures are worth 1,000 words, you certainly made your point with that video, and may I say I hope you will show more, because I am sure that I speak in behalf of our guests and audience that we can hardly wait. This has been Nation Face, and we hope you have enjoyed this broadcast and debate. It truly captured my attention, and we will be bringing David back and our 3 guests. If you would like to participate in our next program with David, please go to his website at myfriendsarereal.com or call us at our news station. I think I am going home and listen to his hypnosis tape. Might be the only way I will be able to fall asleep. In our next show we will be discussing why he thinks he founded Cicada. Good night and have a pleasant sleep if you can.